The Port neighborhood is an unforgiving pocket in the city of Cambridge. It houses 7,000 people, many among them the poorest in the city. Wedged between prestigious universities, modern research labs, and high tech companies. Audible has collaborated with the Loop Lab on a series of pieces about the Port neighborhood of Cambridge, and in this piece, we talk about the youth centers, which are run by Cambridge Youth Programs. The youth centers are teen friendly spaces that have existed for decades. They are a place where teens from the socio-economically diverse families come together, play sports, participate in youth development programs, and most importantly, have a community to lean upon and mentors to guide them. These adolescents' lives pivot around these youth centers. It's their escape from everything else that's going on in their homes and in their schools, the place where they can be free for a bit. Today, the number of teens visiting the youth centers in the area is declining. Let's chat with Malik and TT, who work at the Moses Youth Center here in Cambridge. They both grew up in the Port neighborhood, attended the youth centers, and are passionate about empowering the youth from the community. We will hear from them about their work with the young people in the neighborhood, how the youth centers have changed with time, the challenges they face today, and the impact of the tech community in their own backyard. Hello, Malik.
Hello.
Thanks for taking time today to speak to us. Can you briefly explain what you do here at the Teen Center?
Of course. My role here at the Teen Center is just incorporate programs for the kids, try to like promote, get kids in the building, try to do certain things, whether if it's like physical, work with them on mental things, homework, academics, stuff like that.
What are the challenges you think they're facing?
I think, well, we have to understand sometimes you understand a kid's home. Sometimes his home might be rough.
Yeah.
His upcoming might be rough. So sometimes you have to just allow them to escape that.
Yeah.
So I feel like coming here, like growing up for me, coming to the Mission Area 4, I escaped everything going on at home, any problems I had. Just come around, great energy, and just it changes your life. It's like an impact on you. So I feel like the kids nowadays just, they're missing that aspect, and I think that once we start getting them in here and like letting them escape that outside world and the so-called streets, I feel like it'll start to get back to what it used to be.
How are they different from your times to now? How are the teens different?
I feel like now the teens, like, I feel like they want to grow up so fast.
Yeah.
I know me growing up, I wanted to grow up fast too, but I understood the times, and so like you gotta just pace yourself. I feel like now they want to grow up so fast. They want to make money. They want to chase girls, and all that's fine. But let's like remember being a kid is like a special time in life. So take advantage of that. I feel like nowadays they just want to rush and do everything, do adult things, but they have to understand that growing up there's a lot to learn. So just pace yourself and really like live in the moment sometimes.
Yep. So how many kids do you say do come regularly, or the kids that take benefit of the services and that you offer here?
On a regular day-to-day basis, I couldn't even tell you the number. I've seen this building be empty before. I've seen 3 kids, 7. I feel like when we do big basketball games or events or leagues or like dinners, stuff like that, there's a big number. Probably can see like 50 to 60.
Okay.
So I feel like if we keep doing certain events, symposiums and stuff like that, we'll bring the numbers back up.
But what's the average number like day to day? Like, let's say on a weekday or a weekend, like what's the average number when you don't have these big events? Like how many
Probably
kids?
say about 8 to 10.
Okay. And just thinking back in time, how many would you say would come back in your time when you were visiting teen centers?
It's 40, 50
And that
on a day basis.
on a day-to-day
Yeah.
basis?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
a big decline.
Yeah, huge decline.
Wow. So when you say there's a decline, do you attribute some of this decline to like social media and like video games and technology?
Yes, I think video games has taken a big impact on like this generation.
Yeah.
A lot of kids just want to stay inside. They want to get to that 2K or whatever they play nowadays. And I feel like they look forward to doing that after school than looking forward to coming to an after school program and like having fun with friends outside. Some of them like to stay outside and stay like over there in the streets or whatever. But I don't know. I just feel like they have to find a way to just, I don't know, get in the building. I think the social media has also like taken an impact, like Snapchat and stuff like that. Kids just like, I don't know, they're not social. They find a way to like be social on social media, but
But
not in
not,
person.
yeah,
So
not
which is so
interacting.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it's weird to me. I don't know why it's like
How,
that.
how do you think that's affected like the mental health of teens? So when you don't have anybody to share your problems or
Exactly.
your
Yeah.
day-to-day feelings or activities, like do you see a difference in mental health in the kids these days versus, I mean, back in time, like 5 years or 10 years ago when social media wasn't so big?
Yeah, I feel like kids now they have no idea what reality really is, and they're hiding behind social media and living in this world that's not really reality. So they have trouble facing their problems, expressing their feelings. So I feel like we gotta try to find a way to get them to like get away from social media a little bit, get them to get more social, express their feelings, tell people how they feel, and open up sometimes.
So do you think the tech community outside has any impact on the teens here, or do they care about it at all?
I not too much outside reach from those other places.
Yeah.
Not something that happens very often. I mean, we might stumble into something where they come and try to run a special project with us or something like that,
Yeah.
but not on a real basis do I come and reaching out to the kids, no.
What do you see the future of these teen centers? The way you're saying there's a
Yeah.
decline. So what do you think will be the future?
I feel like now we're seeing the difference and
Yep.
seeing that there's a big change that we have to make in order to get these youth centers back to what they should be. So I feel like now that we're putting the spotlight on it, we have the right people in place trying to make that change. I think people from this city will help out the most because we've seen it before. We know
Yep.
how it is. We know when the city is functioning the right way. So once we get ourselves in there and get these kids back on the right track, I think it's up to us to change the direction where it's going now.
Yep.
And I feel like that bridge from people who grew up here and now generation now, there's no bridge there. We're not reaching out. There's no connection. So we have to start getting them back in here, and that like all that belongs on us.
So growing up and going to teen centers, do you have a mentor from your time, and how did this mentor like have an impact on you on a day-to-day basis?
Yes, probably have a few people come to mind. Going to Mission, I know AJ was definitely a huge part of me becoming, growing up as a man. I just feel like I was a young kid, and he kind of just showed me different things that sometimes my parents couldn't show me. He just taught me how to like stay focused on one thing, don't give up. I remember I was growing up playing basketball. I would get so frustrated. I wasn't on varsity. I wasn't where I was supposed to be. And I just remember him just always keeping me motivated, just always making sure I didn't give up on my drive and my dream. And that's important as a kid. You need somebody always in your corner to have you do that. Growing up, I never had somebody to like take me out and have me do drills and have me focus on what I need to get better. So for him to do that to me, it kind of opened my eyes to that somebody does care about me and actually sees a future in what I see a future in myself with. So
Yeah.
it just made me so much motivated. I leaned on them. I asked them questions. I tried to soak up every bit of energy and everything out of him. So it was great, and he definitely helped me out. I made varsity after, so I appreciate him for that.
How often would you meet him when you say he was your
Every
mentor?
day.
Every
Every
day.
day. I was going to the Mission every day, and he was there in my ear every day.
So he knew about your day-to-day activities, what you were up to,
Yep.
and you'd go to him for questions and so on and so forth. So
Yes.
taking that experience, do you see somebody that you have that relationship working here today with the kids here?
Yes. Do I have it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I do. I try to always be that bigger brother to them.
Yeah.
I know that it was crucial for me, and I needed that growing up. So I come from the same place as them. I know their struggles. I know that sometimes dad's not there. I know sometimes growing up rough home and stuff like that. So for me, coming from where I come from, I understand the struggles they go through.
Yeah.
And I know that it's hard sometimes as a young black man. So you got to be there for them, like build relationships, build that bonds. Always make sure and reassure them that they're gonna be whatever they want to be in life. So for me, I just always try to reach out to everybody, and not just the males too, young females too. I always try to make sure I'm in their corner. The other day, a young girl actually cried to me because she felt like she wasn't on the right path to where she wanted to be, and she felt like her earlier years in high school, she was doing so much better, and now like it's her senior year, and she's kind of feeling like she's losing that motivation.
Yep.
And so I just reassured her that you gotta stick with it. You got a goal, stick with the goal. Don't give up yet. You're almost there. So I feel like I'm definitely doing a good job of reassuring them that they can reach wherever they want to be.
How do you think the mental health in the kids these days is different, and how are they affected?
It's different. It's very different. I would try to put myself in their shoes a lot, even though I'm not that far in age, but it's different coming from with our president now and then having a whole bunch of other people just feeling the confidence of speaking up, and the media, what the media is showing us from day to day. It's a lot. It's a lot to handle. And, growing up at any age or any time period, all you want to feel is, where do I fit in? And with this time period, you wouldn't want to fit in anywhere because there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. So it's hectic. If I was 14, 15, 17-year-old right now, I'd be looking for a mentor with a good head on their shoulders, because if you look at the media, there's really no positive relationship or positive friendship that you could see for them to really look up to, like, oh, okay, I want to be like that. No, you see, oh, Love and Hip Hop, oh, what? Black Ink, like, these are not positive showcases for you to be like, oh, this is what I want to be when I grow up. There's a lot of, and even with that, with the legacies we do have, those names are being tarnished right now too. So it's like, what do you trust and what do you don't trust? And what do you believe and what do you don't believe? That's hard to do. As a teen, that's hard to do when you're figuring out yourself. You can't even figure out the world.
Yeah. How do you think the tech community that's in Cambridge affecting these kids? Do they care about it at all? Do they know about it? And is there an impact on them?
Tech community like MIT and
Yeah, like MIT
I think
and all the big companies that are housed in Cambridge.
I know there's a couple coding programs that MIT has come into the community and done with our children, but I think they could do way more because, no lie, MIT has some cool stuff up there. Science is cool, and you could do a lot with it. So implementing that into our children and maybe doing more tours at MIT or tours at Google even, but like just showing them that Cambridge is not just your street or your school, but like we actually have these high-end schools, Harvard, MIT, all these places where you can walk down the same hallways and you can see the things that they're doing and probably get inspired to do the same thing. I would like to know what they're doing. As I know some cool stuff, but like I said, that bridge is not being met. So maybe having a tour of what's going on first, so that could catch our eye, that could catch the children's eye. And I'm like, ooh, I want to do that. Ooh, I want to do that. And then after that tour of, oh my gosh, these MIT students are doing some amazing work, then connecting that bridge to, okay, so what do you want to see in your after school that we can bring to you and that you can learn from? Because I know it's way more than just coding and 3D printing making and all that. So I want to know what else they have.
Exposing them to all the things out there and getting them to experience it for themselves,
Right.
So they can make decisions and choose what path they want to pursue.
Right. I'm not going to tell you what to do because a lot of, like, speaking to a child, I'm not going to tell you what to do. You're a person that has your own beliefs and your own wants and needs. And there's no hurt, there's no bad in exposing you to this, you know? So you can make a decision for yourself. It's a lot about exposure. Inner city kids are not exposed to a lot, are not exposed to a lot. So just giving that giving that a space for them to just look at all this new stuff and then make that decision for themselves. Because I tell my kids all the time, even as kindergartners and third graders, life is a choice. Everything you do is a choice. You choose to do what you want to do. So if you choose to put yourself in a place of being successful, that's where you choose to do. If you choose to do the wrong thing and go down the wrong, that's a choice. But what you're exposed to, you can choose through that.
While the youth center's management and the city of Cambridge chalk out the future of these youth centers, the young people who are the future of the city walk by the high rises and office buildings in Kendall Square every day and have no idea what's going on inside. There's an opportunity for the tech community to reach out to the teens at the youth centers and showcase the broad range of opportunities. This could also help to rekindle interest in the youth centers in the neighborhood. We all have an enormous opportunity to positively impact their lives.